today, this is how I start out my day. I don't have any makeup on, I'm going to pickleball. I got my puppy here, Timber, and he and I are gonna do a little bit of training, unedited. So it's not gonna be perfect. This is what we do so we can get him prepared to be a good dog. He comes with me everywhere. He's going to pickleball later. We're gonna do a couple tricks. They're gonna probably be silly. You can pan forward to the story later when I come back from pickleball. That's what I'm gonna tell a story probably about dogs, because today is dogs in the kitchen. And we're gonna do some work and we'll let you watch. We're gonna start out with something simple. And Timber, sit. Good. Down. Good. Up. Good. Timber. Ready. Up. So you'll see that he's working for food. He doesn't have a collar on, and he also works for toys. So same as my husband and I, we work for food and toys. So if you don't like that, because you're a dog trainer and you're like, oh, that's not very professional, we don't really care. He's here for our enjoyment. Okay, Timber. Move. Good. Okay, Timber, weave. Weave. Good. Timber, free. Good. Timber, good. Timber, free. Ooh, good. Timber, sit. Good. Timber, stay. No. You're so see, he doesn't always listen. Sit. Good. Back. Oh, good. Up. All right. Follow. Follow. Timber. No. Good enough. All right. Timber. Left. Good. Timber, right. Good. All right. Ready? Timber, leg. Up, wrong way. Nope. Sit. Down. Good. All right, here we go. Ready? Left. Leg. Come on. Leg. Forward. Sit. Good. That leg stuff, I think it's more me than him. I'm a little uncoordinated this morning because I just woke up. That's what happens when you're 62. Here we go. Oh, you're doing it. Okay. Left. There. Good. Ready? No. Left. Leg. Oop. Choking on treat. Left. Okay. Left. Nope. Left. Timber. Leg. Timber. Nope. Leg. Good. Leg. Good. Leg. Good. Leg. Good. Leg. All right. We can get that to work again. That's kind of bored. All right. Timber. Left. Sit. Leg. Good. Leg. Good. Leg. Good. Leg. Good. Sit. Good. Back. Ooh, you're dead. Good boy. Silly. All right, so that's my dog working for food. And I'll tell you a little story when I get back from pickleball. Just had to get a couple minutes in before my coffee, before we leave out of here, and I come back from playing with the girls at Willow Pass Park, and it's about a 40-minute drive to get there, so I'll drive anywhere for pickleball. So I'll see you later, and I'll tell you a story about dogs. Bye. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I just got back from pickleball, and it was a lot of fun, really warm out. I did wash my hands, but I haven't showered yet. So that's how I look coming back from pickleball. This is my sourdough I made last night. It doesn't look very fluffy, nor does it look like it's gonna take its shape, but we are gonna try to see how it comes out. I have 2 cast iron Dutch ovens in the stove at 500 right now. I'll turn it down to 450 because what I'm gonna need to do is keep them real hot so it will rise with this flat dough. At least that's what I've been told. And I'm gonna do some inclusions with my dough. I'm gonna do a made up one, which everybody's been to Starbucks and had like the lemon, what is it, the lemon live, which is delicious. And everybody likes blueberry. And so I'm gonna do a lemon blueberry with cream cheese and some vanilla. I took some lemon peel and I put it in my food processor. And I'm gonna take this whole chunk of cream cheese and I'm gonna throw it in there, and I'm gonna zap that. Make sure it doesn't shake off the table. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla in there, in the top while it gets smooth. So that's gone in. We'll turn that off. And then, I don't know if you guys have ever mixed cream cheese and marshmallow, the kind that comes in the container with the blue lid. It's just absolutely gristle when the kids eat. But a brick of cream cheese and that makes the most delicious, unnutritious fruit dip you have ever had in your life. And it's so good. Don't tell anybody what's in it if you have company over because they won't eat it. But it is awesome. So it just looks like this creamy custard thing. It's just 1 brick of cream cheese with the marshmallow. This was about 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, which I had left. I didn't have marshmallow, nor would I use it because I don't want the bread to get all explosive. And this is my first time inventing this recipe, so it could be an absolute failure. All right. So now it looks like I have this lovely mix of lemon, cream cheese, powdered sugar, and vanilla in my processor. So we're gonna put that off to the side and unplug it so I don't cut my fingers off. And I'm gonna try to shape my dough for this one. This is gonna be the cream cheese. So what we'll do is we'll stretch it out, which seems okay. And we'll lay it on the counter, which I washed before I started to cook. And I'll open this up. I spent years without a food processor, and that was probably a big mistake because I couldn't possibly love it more. I got it the day before Thanksgiving and made my stuffing with it, and I was like, where has this been my whole life? Why have I been doing things the hard way? So I'm gonna just slab on this mixture. Let me taste. Woo, it tastes like key lime pie. That's interesting. So if you guys like key lime pie, maybe this is key lime pie sourdough? I can call it whatever I want. We'll call it, I don't know, Jimmy Buffett Parrot Head sourdough. Because I bet parrots like blueberries. So I'm gonna do the envelope fold, if I can. I'm gonna fold in once. I'm gonna fold in twice. And I'm gonna try to stretch that out. I'll make some sound effects. Woo! And then I'll put some more of that delicious, yummy stuff on top. I mean, kind of like a jelly donut. There really can't be too much filling, can there be? Maybe I'll make 2 of these. Well, what if it doesn't taste good? Then that would be such a waste of bread. But if it tastes great, I could freeze one. Should I make 2? All right. I don't want to waste ingredients. I think I'm going to make 2. All right. And I'm going to roll this. Kind of like a cinnamon roll. Ooh. All right. Now we'll do the shape. People pinch. I'm not quite sure what the pinching is. It reminds me of those lovely buns that you have at Dumpling 88, where they have these pinching, top steam puffed pork buns that are to die for. I really haven't started to pinch yet, so I'm gonna try to shape the way that I think you're supposed to shape. And I'm gonna do the candy cane method, which is what they taught me at my class. Look at that big old line I have in there. What am I gonna do with that? I guess I'll just wait till I get some tension and slide it all over the top of my table. Ooh, look at, I'm getting blueberry streaks. That's gonna look pretty. I'll have to clean this up. All right, that doesn't seem like it's tight enough to hold the shape inside. Oh, look at, it's leaking. Oh, that looks like it's gonna be double trouble in the oven. All right, maybe too much stuff inside there. Look at that. You see that mess? That's horrible. All right, we're gonna try to save it. We're not gonna cut into it because I think it might be a disaster. I'm gonna break for a moment. All right, I put that hot mess into the oven. I believe in go big or go home. I kind of cleaned up the counter to start all over again. I'm gonna do 2. If they're awful, then the dogs might eat them. I took the Dutch oven out of the oven, it's screaming hot, and the dough started oozing, and I thought, holy shit, like I gotta get it in there, and I forgot that I didn't have an oven mitt on my other hand. I grabbed the lid, and I almost did that, you know, the old kung fu, burn the dragons into the arm, but luckily my hand was wet from the sink, and I dropped the top of the lid on the floor, and I didn't get burnt. Thank God for water on my hand. And then I quickly grabbed my oven mitt and threw the whole mess in the oven. And now it's just kind of oozing into my oven. So that will be interesting as to how that turns out. And you know, I have too much extra to just throw this stuff away. So we're gonna try it again because I believe in trying for ultimate failure to gain success. That's my strategy in pickleball as well. So we're gonna stretch this out bigger this time to see if I can keep the ingredients in that envelope without making a hazmat situation. Because like that's my life is a hazmat situation. So I won't double coat because I think the lesson in that was don't double coat. So we're gonna stretch it out really big this time. And don't break my beautiful little dough ball. All right, and there's so much stuff in here, I can't say like, okay, I'm good with throwing out the key lime pie stuff. So I'm gonna smear this on. Oh, there we go. Probably easier to do without the blade in. And I'm gonna take the rest of these ingredients, the lovely lemon peel zested, the little bit of vanilla, the powdered sugar, and I'm gonna spread it on thinner this time and be kinder. Sometimes I'm just a little too aggressive. And I think I just need to slow down and be delicate. Like I'm painting a portrait with my little lemon custard instead of, you know, trying to murder my dough, which is what happened on the last one. And we'll see if there's a difference in the outcome, because that was ultimately like the blog revisiting. And I think for sure that other one's gonna be a failure. So we're gonna give it a second chance. And we're gonna spread on these little blueberries. I probably need some more. Luckily for me, I have a giant bag, because smoothies are fun. And we will delicately sprinkle the lovely blueberries that are frozen. I did consult Claude with this idea, and he said he thought it would be a fabulous loaf of bread. But Claude AI is very encouraging, even though he knows you're going to be an epic failure. So we're going to try this again, and we're going to do the burrito fold. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, so much better. Those are sound effects. The wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. And then I'm going to put that oozy stuff in the middle. And I'm going to be nicer to this one. Because I think my problem is that I wasn't nice enough. I was just too aggressive with my handling and probably too much filling. So I'm going to try to create some tension by being gentle. I'm not a gentle person. That's so hard for me to be gentle. I mean, I guess I can be with like a puppy or a baby. But with food, like, I don't know. I'm just not a delicate flower. So I'm gonna put this one on. And where is my scraper? I guess I have to do it with the spatula. Oh, there it is. See, it doesn't have good tension. I don't know if everybody could see that, but it's kind of mushing out. Trying to create tension. Create tension. Create tension. Create tension. Create tension. Make the dough go for a walk. All right. All right, here we go. Let's get that a little tighter. All right. All right. And I'm gonna score this softly, 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 softly. I'm not going to score it too much because I think it's going to be a high ooze factor. Just give it a little gap so the steam can come out. Maybe a little deeper. Just a tad bit. It's pretty like a sunset. All right, this time, oven mitts. Don't want to scorch my hands this time. All right, time for the second cast iron to come out. All right. This one's been getting hot for about 30 minutes. Woo, look at that. Dogs barking outside. Dum dum. All right, put the mitt back on. Put it back on. Some people spray their oven with water, but I take a cast iron pan of ice and put it underneath. All right. So I'm gonna, since it has a lot of hydration and the dough's kind of flat. I've been told, like, keep it on high. So we're gonna keep it on 500 for a little bit. And I'm gonna tell you a story about a dog, my first dog. His name was Baron. I got him as a gift when I was a police officer. I was single, and Baron and I used to go for a run, and Timber spent the day at pickleball with me. Jinx is 15, so she can't come, and Bandit's a rescue, so he doesn't like other dogs, so he can't come, but he does get to go for walks. So Baron and I, when I was in my 20s and as a police officer, we would run daily. And I will tell you, ladies out there, if you run, bring some mace, bring a knife, bring a dog, but don't go out there without some sort of defense, because there are people out there that will try to grab you, especially if you're a regular runner. I do not know a single female serious runner, one that runs like 10Ks and marathons, that hasn't had some sort of attempted abduction. Ladies, if you're out there and you're an avid runner and you've been running for more than 6 years, in my comment section say, it hasn't happened to me yet, and then I'll feel better about the world. So I was out for a big run. This was in Tennessee on Old Hickory Road, before leash laws were required, when you had the ability to control your dog with dog obedience. Dogs run at a different pace than humans, so I would let my German Shepherd run at its own pace and catch up with me, and I would stop at traffic lights. It was that well behaved, because I was single. I had nothing better to do than to train a dog, that he would catch up with me. And I was running by this parking lot at an intersection, and a gentleman pulled up in what looked like a blue Mustang, and I didn't think anything about it, because I was like in my jam. I was running and having a good time, and he jumps out of the car, and he has a knife, and he grabs a hold of my arm, and he goes, "Get in the car," and he's trying to drag me around the other side, and I'm fighting him off, and I yell for my dog, Baron, and my dog is midair after this guy, like jaws of death coming at him. And this guy turns and he sees the dog, and he lets go of me, pushes me back, and he still has a knife, and he gets in the car and he takes off. And I call and I reported him to the police department. The gentleman was never caught or apprehended. I really didn't have a very good description, because he kind of caught me from behind and sideways. So I just know he was a white male with brown hair. And you're not gonna believe this, but that's not the only time that something that has happened. The other time that's happened is I was out windsurfing, and I did not have my dog with me. I was a police officer, and I had my gun in my vehicle, and I'm out on the lake, and my sail has come off my windsurf board, and it's just a beautiful day. There's a lot of fishermen out, and my sails come down, so I have to get into shore to put my sail back on my board so I can paddle out again, catch the wind, and ride some more. So I'm not really paying attention, but I'm leisurely dragging my sail back on top of my board, flopped over. And I'm probably about 20 feet from the shore, and there's this white male, blonde-haired, naked, head to toe. And I'm like, oh my God. And at this point in time, I was a really good swimmer. I was still a triathlete. And I see him swimming out, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. Like, he's after me, this crazy weirdo. So I push my board in between us, and I see the fisherman's boat probably 150, 200 yards out. And he's swimming after me, and I'm like, I'd rather fight this person in the water than on the shore, because I'm a fast swimmer. So I take off swimming towards the fishermen that are out on the lake. There's two guys in a motorized boat, and I'm yelling, help, help, you know, this guy's after me, and they can just barely hear me from where they're at, and they start trolling back with their boat to head towards me, and they realize that the man is after me, so they start taking their boat. He turns around because he's closer to shore, starts swimming back, and gets out of the water and gets in his vehicle, and we're in Tennessee. So I think, like, I'm gonna get his license plate. Like, now all three of us are kind of chasing the naked guy, which that scene is just distressful altogether. And he gets in a car with Arkansas tags, and he's in a pickup truck. And the pickup truck, as a tailgate, has a wood tailgate. Like, piece of shit car. Like, I was probably going to be his slave prisoner once he caught me, like in the woods. He was going to make me his wife. And I was going to have to cook chained up. I can only imagine. So I'm still in my bathing suit, and I go for my gun in the trunk of the car, grab my keys, and where I have them hidden, and I get to the trunk of the car. This is prior to cell phones. There was no such thing as a cell phone at this point in time. And the fishermen are giving foot chase. He gets in his vehicle, he takes off, I capture the tag. So I quickly get in my car, in my bathing suit, get on the phone, call in the APB, tell them like, hey, this guy's blonde, he's like 6 foot, 195 pounds, was naked, don't know what he's wearing, believe that, you know, he was putting on what looked to be overalls, classic, right? And, you know, he takes off, and, you know, everybody that knows me on my police department is looking for him. I figured, well, he headed back to Arkansas, like, we'll never see him again. And I thought, oh, another person that's tried to do whatever is in their mind, make me his pretty wife, or, you know, whatever was his plan. It didn't happen. Thank God for the fishermen with their kind hearts that came to my rescue. And so I'm on patrol out by the lake, and I'm hoping that at some point I'll see this guy. And I just kind of write it off like it's never going to happen. But I must say that I did do some extra patrols where he had tried to abduct me. And I'm driving along, and I think I'm, you know, drinking a soda in the car, in my police car, and I look over, and here goes the blue pickup truck with the wood tailgate. And it was like, well, ain't that a tickle? So I turn on my lights and siren, and I get in a pursuit with him, and I pull him over, and I'm in my uniform, and of course I have my hair up, and I have my police hat on, and he goes, what's the problem, ma'am? And I said, do you remember me? And he goes, huh? I go, do you remember me? And he's just completely blank-faced, because going from a girl in a bathing suit to somebody in a patrol officer outfit, he has no idea who I am. And I go, well, I remember you. I was the girl on the windsurf board. And I say some expletives, and I think in my head, like, I should just shoot him right here. Honestly, that's what I was thinking. I didn't do it because I'm a good person, and I don't want the guilt to ride my heart forever. So I lock him up, and I sign out a warrant. I take him to the detective. I already had a written statement from when he tried to abduct me. Went to court, and I remember years and years ago, the one thing I remember is the judge said, not only are you going to spend several years in jail for the attempted kidnapping of this officer, but after your release, if you ever step foot in the state of Tennessee, you'll go back to jail and serve another 20. So justice was served, so one predator off the streets. But men and women, because I've heard of men also being, horrible things happen to them while they're running, please carry some mace, carry a knife, a legal limit knife, and or run with a beautiful dog that you can get out of your local shelter. There's a lot of professional trainers now that go into shelters that make dogs perfect before you get them, and they foster them. If you're a lonely person, I'll say that my dogs have saved my life many times just by bringing me great joy when I didn't have anybody else. You know, coming from a family of 12, when you go out on your own and you're living alone, you get kind of sad. But then if you get a dog, life is good. And dog spelled backwards is God. And I think it's God's greatest gift after my children. So that's my dog story for the day. And I will post a picture of my sourdough potential disasters to let you know if they're beautiful and purple and tasty, or if they're just a big ball of doughy goo soaked and end up being glued to the inside of my Dutch oven. I'll let you know what happens. So if you try to replicate my mess, Claude said it was a good idea, but that doesn't make it so. So have a great day, and I'll see you later. Hey, you guys, it's the end of the day, and this is what the blueberry, I was stirring it upside down. This is what it turned out like, a little bit dark on the bottom. The other one, I don't know why it's nice on the bottom. They look kind of flat, but maybe because they have filling. I'm a little scared as to what's gonna happen with this one. Plus, I don't have dinner for my husband, so it will be a, hey, I made you a Jimmy Buffett blueberry loaf for dinner that we're gonna reveal right now as to whether it turned out or not. Oh, kind of dense. We'll see. Has very small holes. See that? It's heavy, but it also has cream cheese in it, so it might taste good, and it's not always about how pretty it is, right? So if this tastes good, I'll freeze that one for friends, and let me try it to decide if this will ever be a reattempt. Probably should have done the bread all in one go instead of stretching and folding at night. Let me see. The flavor is delicious. It is dense. It should have been lighter and airier, but a real baker would have known the hydration levels and made it perfect. So all you real bakers out there, the Jimmy Buffett loaf, which is lemon zest, cream cheese, powdered sugar, and frozen blueberries. Give it a go. Do it better than me. Send me a picture. It's definitely not a throwaway because it tastes good. So I don't mind eating all the discards. Anyway, have a nice evening. See y'all later.